My name is Margaret Ann Windsor. I have to use the name Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Childers. I'm going to turn around here. This swimming pool, and they've got gazebos out here, and it's really a pretty place. I'm in the courtyard, and it's got sliding glass windows, and I'd hope when I come here, I'm allergic to chemicals, and I've been deliberately kept homeless and penniless, running from place to place, run me by fumes. I'm allergic, and my immune system attacks itself, and over time, it causes mass inflammation all over my body, kidneys, etc. And it's hell. And I came here, and I'm gonna get back here, and it's a little messed up now because I'm so sick, but it is a pretty place, and it's clean. And I'm not going to go any further here because I put things up on YouTube and Facebook, but this is it. I was having to leave here. This is Motel 6. And I paid July the 5th of 2017, and 2 weeks till the 19th. And I was run out again. This is where I paid. And by the way, I don't owe this. You do a background check. Supposedly this doesn't show up, but this is not true. That's from about 3 years ago at Christmas when they changed from the stay out in to I guess Motel 6, yeah. And I had paid it. I always do, and I keep the receipt, and I kept the receipt from that. When I went over, because they were switching over to Motel 6, I forgot what happened, but they were charging too much or something, and I was going to go over to Howard Johnson's. I think they even referred me to that in Daleville. And I had paid. I've never left anything unpaid rent. I've paid it on time or early everywhere I've been. So help me God. The Since I've come to Roanoke, because I've tried to leave and been run back, and I've paid my rent. I don't have any money, so it's really ridiculous what's been done to me, kidnapped and brought over here. But anyway, I don't even owe this, and they haven't said anything about it, but it's staring me in the face. But I went over there. It's different people there now, but it's got folio balance. I don't know a thing there. In fact, what they've done to me is so hideous. They've engaged in that it's they that owe me. But I had to go back there this time, and back to when they changed owners to the Motel 6. I had paid them. I had the receipt, and it was like talking to a wall. They were saying, no, you owe this. They'd switched over the bookkeeping. I've forgotten now what they were doing the bookkeeping on. They were standing there telling me with the receipt that I hadn't paid. Well, in come the manager about that time, and he said, well, she paid with a Visa card or something. I don't have a credit card. I didn't pay with a credit card. I paid with cash like I always do. Anyway, it was supposed to be settled, and I have the receipt there. I left, and yet this is still on there. And I paid for 2 weeks, but this is from back then when I paid. And it's still if you did a background check, it would show it up that I owed it. Now then, I left there for the same reason, and I'm not going to try to explain it. I'm so sick right now, I can't take it. I'm going to just say this. Carl Barton's wife, he's a Virginia State Trooper. Back in August the 14th of '09, they brought me off the mountain because this is what happened up there. They would come up and spray my tent. I have fallen, been black and blue. They've soaked my tent. They have kept me. I don't know how I've lived, and nobody will touch it. But they were hosts up there, and he's retired. And his wife brought me down to Affordable Corporate Suites over on Starkey Road here in Roanoke. And his wife said they paid the security deposit. I was actually going to another place. I was so sick because somebody come up in the night and poured fuel all over my tent, and I had to sit at the picnic bench during the night till daylight came. I was so sick I couldn't get back in the tent. So she brought me down, and she said, "Well, we'll take you down there." I didn't go to the other place. Went to Affordable, and I stayed there for 17 months till they raised the rent. They did the same thing, though. They soaked me in fuel and everything. Well, not fuel. Well, I don't know what all they did. This is part of the ongoing, the air conditioning used as a murder weapon. I'm allergic to chemicals. I have an immune disorder, and over time, it's killed me. Really, my lungs, my kidneys, etc. And the pain I go through, and the running and losing my stuff, and putting this up on YouTube and Facebook, and evidently it doesn't do any good. I can't get an attorney. Everybody's afraid of it because it goes so high up. I was kidnapped and brought over here, and I've put all that up, so I'm not going to say that right at the moment. But it's really sickening to me. Some odors, I'm told by my doctor, are just odors to other people, but to me they're deadly, toxic. But most of this is not just a little pine sol here. This has been all really sickening and bad. It really has been, and a joke that it can be done to me. But anyway, I left. I fell at the. It was a really dirty place here in town by the air. It's the Airport Plaza Inn, and I had to go there for the same reason. I'd been run till I run out of money. I always put together enough to pay the rent. I had to go there, and I ended up staying about 3 or 4 months. But I failed twice because of the fumes. You couldn't open a window, anything there, and it was dirty. And I'm not going to go into what else happened to me, and I had to go to the emergency room. Oh, and people are afraid of because of what's happened to me, and they've gotten to. The law enforcement gets things on people or corporations and gets them to do things against me. And if you try to tell it, I mean, it's too many people, and I've got too many records of it now up on YouTube that they know I'm telling the truth. They always did. I'm not trying to get into that right at the moment. I just wanted to say this. I went from, it used to be Howard Johnson's here on Third Lane Road. And then I went from there because it got, I'm not even going to try to get into that. I thought I was going to get into Richfield and didn't. And so I went to Airport Plaza, and then to out here where I just showed you, back out there. I've been there, and they end up paving. Woke up one morning and they were paving. One morning, a different time of the year, they were putting cement down in front of the door. The sidewalk was right in front of the door. I was so sick I couldn't stand it. And I always tell people that I'm allergic to chemicals. So Kelly's her name, very well knows it. She's still there, and this happened to me again. I really was so sick when I came here the other day that I thought they had my brain. They had damaged me because they were burning barbecue grill right under my vent, picnicking every night and barbecuing, and there was other stuff they were doing, and nobody would stop it. She wouldn't stop it, Kelly. So I got the cab driver that I'd never used before. He was from Botetourt, and I called him, and he picked me up, and I try to keep things together, but I lose them and try to put them back together. Anyway, I had the money to get me through till I got income at the end of the month. Now then I have nothing. I didn't have much food then, but I have nothing now. I had to leave or I would have died. And he took me. I told him, asked him would he take me, and I had enough money to get a tent. because I don't have a tent anymore. It got lost and messed up in all this. So that was $200. And I was going to try to tent. And he asked, would I like for him to call and try to check around and see if he could find something. Well, he called here. I didn't know that was the name of it, and I'm not going to get into that at the moment. But it took all the money I had after I had paid for the tent, so I could only spend a week here. But I was so sick then, I can tell they had almost, if you want to say burn your brain, it was, I could hardly talk or anything. And I came here, and it was, it kind of stunned me when I knew who owned it, but I came on in. I was already didn't have money for a cab back or a place to go, so I came on in here, and I was so prayed just let me get in and rest. And I paid the almost 300, just like a little bit being 300 for the week, but I had to have a place, and I came in here, and it was clean and pretty. I remember the cab driver came over and turned on the air conditioning for me at 60 degree, and that's what's been used. Plus, the wherever I've been, they get to people and they go along with it because you can't get them locked up. I can't get an attorney. It's assault with deadly weapon and all kinds of conspiracy. And anyway, I came in here that night. This was Wednesday, today's Friday. I was so sick that I passed out, but it was okay. And in the night, I woke up and I thought, thank God, I feel a little bit better. And that morning, well, it'd been, I woke up and it was better. And I went and I had breakfast. They have a good breakfast, and it's prettier. It's clean. And I thought there's the sliding glass doors. If things get bad in here and they start the fumes, I'll just go out in the gazebo or open the door here. Well, that didn't work either, let me clue you. Later that day, the nightmare began because it started the fumes. And it was different ones. It was almost like akin to the out there where they were grilling, and it was carbon monoxide coming through. And by the end of yesterday, I was in hell again. I mean, I couldn't think. I tried doing a video, and I couldn't piece things together. My memory was gone. I was in a mess. So I went outside, but that doesn't work. I come back in, and it's so hot here now. It's 95 degrees. You have to turn the air fan on. And turn the fan on, it still does it. So they've got it hooked up, and like out at Motel 6 where I just left. When I went in there, I couldn't get anywhere else or afford it. And they said, we were waiting on you. We're ready for you. And that's it. And I'm not going to try to explain all of it. I can't here. I put it up on YouTube and Facebook. But anyway, if I'm able to stay here till next Wednesday, that's when I'm paid to. I mean, I'm so sick right now. I mean, I can sit outside. I have to come in at night, but you can't sit outside all day. So it's not a hell of a lot better here. And I did have breakfast yesterday morning. They have nice breakfast, but I came in and had diarrhea all over the bed. Something I had that I ate made me sick, and I don't usually get diarrhea. It's the other that I get, constipated. And anyway, I ate this morning, and it was fine. And I wish I paid $300, which is a lot for me. And next week, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm left. I don't have the money to get to the forest, so Eric can come and run me, this forest ranger. And this is this video, you wouldn't get any of the truth of what's been done, the ongoing slaughter of me. And I start telling who I am, and everybody knows it. So I'm just going to leave it here. I usually bring up Larry Flint because he endorsed me in Hustler magazine. Everybody knows who he is. He helped me in a political campaign in '83 when I ran for U.S. Congress. I tried doing a book about mind control murders before I found out about being kidnapped and who I am, and that's the reason all this is happening to me. I'm a joke that they can do it to me, the United States. But anyway, Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, when I was doing the book MD: A License to Kill. And I had never met him, but the mind control murders were done in patterns that I'm talking about. And then later, when I moved to Roanoke, if you call it moving, it's where I've been since '86, going through this, and I'm still going through it, trying to find a home, a place to be, and so sick I can't walk now. Um, but anyway, Larry Flint flew me out to his home in '83 when one of the doctors, Larry McDonald, that I wrote about, and I bet this is all, uh, went down in the KL. It was shot down August 31st of '83 by the Russian jet. It veered into their airspace, and that's mind control used on the pilot. And Congress or nobody will get up there, the media, and tell you the truth about all this. Flint did a good endorsement for the presidency April the 6th of '84 in Hustler magazine. They usually put that up, but I'm going to leave it. In it, he says, I know who's responsible for his shooting in Lawrenceville, Georgia in '78. And he furnished me a car for a year, and I ended up here because I was put on the side of the road again. No money. And let me remind you here the fact that I'm right here today and I call a minister, and out in Troutville, where I just came from here, the Motel 6, and where I lived on the Appalachian Trail, they've seen me walk up and down the side of the highway in the snow and the ice and the heat and the rain and lightning. And I'm going to leave it at that. I called him because I don't have anywhere to go next week. I had the money. I left because I had to. I was so sick. I'd like to keep my brain like anybody else functioning. And then I run into it again. So I've been, rather than somebody helping me, I've been told, well, or they put it back on me. Well, why don't you just stay where you're at then if you're going to go to the next place and it's that way? And by the way, I've had some cab drivers tell me that American Efficiency over there in Vinton, the last time I was there, these people told me that they actually saw them taking the stuff out of the room I was in and dispose. Well, I don't know where they disposed it, but they said they saw them taking the stuff. They just about killed me over there with what they put in the air conditioning unit, and I had to inhale for a month.